Out. There you go, recording in progress. So thanks again. Welcome to join me today for the introduction to Coaching for Dreamers. We have a pack agenda and a couple of disclaimers. We're going to do an exercise and we're going to be discussing things that might trigger something in you. And if that's the case, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel you need to leave the room or whatever, I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, but just do whatever it's good for you. Don't feel you have to stay here, or, you know, you might need to take a moment. But as I said, it's just a light touch exercise, but you never know. So I'd rather say it here up front. We're in a very loving environment and a loving, safe space. So if you have any issues, please, by all means, raise your hand, interrupt me, and I will be with you. Yeah. So the other disclaimer is that whereas I'm not new to doing Zoom sessions and presentations, I am new using Canva and some other things. So bear with me, please be patient. I hope I'm doing it right. And let's just get started. So I'm going to share my screen, and now I need to prepare my screen to share, because I thought I had it prepared. There you go, Masterclass. Now I'm going to share it. And where is it? Here. Right. Present. Woohoo! There you go. So there you go. This is the masterclass. Let's see if it starts working. So what I'm going to start, this is the agenda for the session today. I'm going to share you my story. So Tamara, here is how I'm going to explain how I got to where I got here. Then we're going to do a little exercise. Then I'm going to explain to you how we create our reality. And then we will see that in the light of the exercise. Then at the end, I'm going to explain how you can dream with me. So with your permission, I'm going to share my website and the programs that I've designed for you. And then at the end, we're going to leave some Q&As. The reason I'm leaving the Q&As towards the end is because, as I said, the agenda might be packed. The session is an hour, but I can stay longer if you want to continue with the Q&As, or I can just follow up with the Q&As at a later stage. I mean, you've got my email address, my telephone number I can share with you if you want, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah. So my story, for those of you that haven't followed the LinkedIn bombs that I've started sharing since last week, I am the middle child of 5 sisters. I grew up in Spain. I was very good at school. You can tell my face, I look like an angel. I was very good. I was following with my mom, set up with all of us. It was like, you know, I was just doing what it was expected from us. But yeah, deep down, after being, you know, going to school, doing these grades and being the perfect student, see, apologies because the picture is not really good, but if you see it there, I'm wearing the bangles because all I wanted to do, all I dreamed doing was singing and dancing, you know, and all I could dream of was just being an artist on stage. And at the time, I just didn't even know that that was a possibility. Because, you know, my family, there weren't any artists. When I grew up in Spain, the artists were like, you know, those people, the artists, like start on performing, like not serious people, not earning a living. So to me, it just remained there as a dream, even though I was always wearing my bangles and performing, or, you know, designing choreographies at school for the gymnastics and that kind of stuff. So that's how I was start fulfilling that. So I grew up. As I said, I followed what it was expected of me. I did my university, I went to uni, I studied architecture because I was good at math, because I liked, you know, drawing. So yeah, why not? Finished architecture thinking that I was rubbish, that I wasn't creative, and everyone seemed to do really well, whereas I was struggling, and I was like, what am I doing here? So I went after uni, and then I started doing project management, and that I loved. I would travel around to Spain. I worked in Portugal. I just loved it. It was like a people kind of work. We were a team of people making things happen, and it was really good. But then it wasn't enough. And because I've always been this kind of achiever, and then I did the MBA because there was missing something. So yes, I could design, yes, I could build, but what about the bigger enterprise? So I started the MBA, and again, loved it. And then I relocated to London because project management seemed to be like their place to be, to work on big projects. And at that point, I really needed to, just grow, just fly, and separate from that career path that my mom had set up for all of her children, all of her, girls. So when I came to London, I then started really in the corporate, big companies, climbing up the ladder, just promotions and just getting into this competitive space and seeking challenge. And I was seeking recognition. But the more you seek recognition, the more I got lost, because the more you seek outwards, the more you're disconnected to yourself, and the more you forgot that little girl with the bangles, right? So at that point is when it's not just that, a lot of things happen around. I mean, you get the wrong relationship, you get the wrong dramas. My dad died when I was 23, and that also shook our foundations. But the one thing that I was always there is that I had been developing this second career as people, because even though I would go to do my work for the clients, I was always on the side helping people with their CVs, their promotions. I was a team leader, and that kind of motherly nature and that ambition, not ambition, but that desire for growth. So it was just not for me, but for other people. So I just loved it. And that took me to this other career where I started learning about neuro-linguistic programming. I started learning about psychology. I started learning about coaching. And the good things about these qualifications is that you have to start here, right? So you start looking inside and you start going, cleansing, revisiting, learning, and it's a process. And I just fell in love with that process. I just couldn't have enough. And that's why, I came to this point. So in those years when I was doing the self-healing process, I even did some therapy, and I learned cognitive behavioral therapy, because I wasn't able to put an end to the situations and the behaviors that they were really damaging to myself. Yeah, and they weren't giving me the fulfillment, the satisfaction, the feeling grounded that I wanted. I at some point I lost, the ability to laugh. Everything was like too dead serious. Everything was life or death. There was no laugh. There was no fun. There was no freshness, if you like. And what I didn't realize is that I was sort of passing on that to the people I was working with, and the pressure was sort of spreading to the people that I was working. And I'm pretty sure if you're looking at these in replay, you might have even worked with me and experienced what it is when this volcano was in a very bad state. Because when I'm in a good state, it's contagious and everyone brings with me, and we can all these together. But when I'm in a bad place, you can also feel that too. And it wasn't until a friend pointed it out to me that I didn't realize that was happening. And I thought, what, I have a responsibility. I really need to do something with it. And that's why little by little, I started planting seeds, designing. I did another qualification that it was for women, designed by women. And that helped me reconnect with that part that I have almost sort of put to one side. Like, no, I'm not that person. Oh, me, woman. No. I'm just low. I'm an achiever. I'm doing these. And so the last 2 years has been about bringing this project to life. So I've been using the architectural to design the brief. I've been putting the project management skills to actually do the steps. And I've worked with a brand strategist, and I've worked with a mentor. There's been a lot more crying, a lot more resisting, a lot of more, no, it's not these, it's these, or there's been a lot of fear, who am I to do these, and what are people going to think? And then it comes to a point when you get this picture, and I love this picture because it's an inner feeling that you go, I'm ready. I'm ready. This is what I need to do. This is what I love to do. This is what I can do with other people. I have seen it because I have actually tested all the programs that I've designed in one way or another, because now they have my twist, but I've done them on myself and I've done them with others. And I do know that these tools are really helpful. And if only they could have taught us these at school, if they had taught us how the brain works, how we make sense of the reality, how can we go about certain things that are happening with us, of course, their life would have been completely different. And that's what I want to help people in the corporate place, yes, because I want ultimately to transform the corporate place, but I also want to start with the younger generations, because, you know, the sooner we start, the more we save the work that we have to do when we reach a point in life, which, you know, next year I'll be 50. So that's my story. So I hope this answers your question. I don't want to take all the thunder of the presentation. If you have more questions, by all means, just let me know. But what I want to do now is take a deep breath, and I'm going to work. Let's just have 5 minutes with your dream. So have you got pen and paper, a drink, comfortable? By the way, I don't see the chat and I don't see a lot of you. So for all I know, I might be talking to myself to avoid, but hopefully not. And what I want you to do is, with that dream in mind, yeah, I'm going to play some music that hopefully plays. Okay, there's a comment in the chat. No, we're here. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And let's make sure that I'm going to share the sound. And I'm going to take you on a little journey, if I manage to up the volume. There you go. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to put the volume and this doesn't let me. There you go. Okay, let's start again. So what we're going to do is, we're going to think of our dream as this lovely hot air balloon that is shining in there, showing the moment it's a shadow. And we're going to go on the journey to go into this balloon. And throughout the slides, I want you to pay attention to what thoughts come to mind. What do you feel? What are you telling yourself? Who are you in the picture? Who else is there? So we've now arrived to where the hot air balloons are waiting for us. And these are our dreams. So just notice, are you the person standing there, getting ready, talking to others? Just notice, how are you? Are you nervous, excited, unsure? Are you the instructor? Which one is your balloon? And just trust whatever comes to mind. If it's a picture, if it's a feeling, if it's a word, just trust. If nothing comes, keep trusting. That's fine. You might be at a different stage. You've now lifted off the ground, and you've got now a different perspective of your dream. You're now looking inside the balloon, and you're just wondering, gosh, how is this even made it possible to the air? You feel the breeze, you feel the air. You feel the basket. It's not steady, is it? Wow, now you're flying. Notice the colors, notice the warmth, notice the height. And again, are you the one looking at the picture, or are you the one inside the basket of the hot air balloon? What are you feeling? What are you saying? Who would you like to share this with? Do you know where you're going? You're not alone. You don't have to do this alone. There's another one next to you. Does it bother you? Would you prefer to be on your own? Do you know where you're going? Does it matter? Then you discover that there's more people like you. Where are we all going? We're all making the landscape. Look at the baskets. There's so many people in the baskets. Do you want to be on your own on your basket, or are you happy being there in the basket with some other people? Just listen to your body. Listen to anything, any shift. How's your heart rate? How's your breath? Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing deeply? Shift your posture. You might want to stand up. Do you see your balloon there, or are you in the balloon? I'm going to leave the music a little while, and I've noted here some questions for you to reflect on. What I want you to notice is just how was it? Who was there? What were you doing? What did you see, hear, and feel? Did you follow all the process, or did you notice any resistance? You prefer to stay in the ground, or you prefer to stay high above? How are your circumstances helping you lift off the ground, or just hindering, maybe pulling you backwards? And like a balloon, when you get onto the balloon, then you drop the sandbags and that lets you lift off the ground. Is there anything that you need to let go of? And when you finish, just perhaps stand up and just, stretch a bit. And just, do what you need to do to shake it off a little bit. Okay. Okay. You can still hear me, right? I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought you liked that. I hope, not I thought. I hope you liked that little exercise. And for a minute, just leave it there. Whatever you've written, if you've written anything, just leave it there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain to you the model of how do we create reality. And when I explain the model, you can just bear with me within the model. And then what we will do is we'll revisit the exercise that we've done in the context of what we have learned. Okay. So let's see if I can pass the slide. There you go. So this is the cycle of creation. Now, I am a one of many certified coach, and this is the model that Joanna Martin, the founder of One of Many, created. And I found it really extremely useful because I've read so many times that our thoughts become what we say becomes what we do. And they explain it to you like, oh, our thoughts become what we say becomes what we do. And you're like, yeah, but how? Do you know, how does it happen? And it was never to me enough information out there to explain how actually we turn what we say into something that we say, and then the thing that we say then becomes a behavior. And when I trained with them and she shared this this model, it became really obvious because it's actually quite graphic. You understand it, and I'm going to talk you through each of them so you understand the cycle. So life is made of moments. At any given moment, we give it a meaning. So we as human beings are meaning creating people. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Yeah, who here hasn't looked at somebody, spoken to somebody, and then they did a comment or they did a face or something, and you went, oh my God, he didn't like it. He didn't like what I'm saying. He's never going to ring me. They're not going to offer me a job. And then you go all in here, just because you saw a face or a gesture or something that it triggered some meaning for you, and you made a complete meaning of that situation. Yeah, does it sound familiar? Because at least for me it does. And so for my son, because many times he says, hey, you said it like that, and I'm like, no, I'm not. So that's it, meaning making moment. So what happens with that meaning that we create in that moment is that determines how we feel about it, the mood or the emotion, which is energy in motion. And that mood is what then determines what are we going to do next, i.e. the response. So this happens in a split of a second, like really quickly. There's a moment, there's a meaning, that determines a mood, boom, a mood, sorry, and then you take an action. And what I'm going to talk to you through now is exactly what happens in the meaning. This is how we make meaning. Now, the meaning depends on 3 levels. The most simple to analyze is the body one. Yeah, the body is, we don't make the same meaning if we're tired. We don't make the same meaning if we are depressed, stressed, if we haven't eaten properly, if we are in the cycle, that moment of a cycle where, you just want to hide under a duvet and just forget about the rest of the world. We are not the same if we are hangover. Yes, I'm pretty sure that we all have felt being the hangover, and then the following day the world is like really dark. So that is our body. This is our instinct. This is our primary state. Yeah, and that informs our reality. The second level is the mind, and that's where this is where we start putting the thoughts. But which thoughts? These thoughts come from 2 main areas, which is our values and our beliefs. Now, each of these are a whole session to unpack and see all the detail underneath. But basically, in a nutshell, a value is what drives your decisions in life. Whatever you value, whatever you put time and effort onto something, is what you will dictate what decisions you make, or in one way or another. So for example, for me, growth is a really good value. So anything that has to do with a course that I'm interested in learning, I don't know, spending a whole weekend in a conference, or, you know, you name it, all of those things, I would just, don't hesitate, I would just do it, and I will make the decisions, i.e. spend my money, save up money, look for, you know, you name it, anything, it would be related so that I can go and do those things. If you don't value growth in the same way that I do, or you value friendship or fun or socials or something above that, then that will mean that you will make another decision to spend your weekend and doing some other things, or adventure, you might want to travel. So that's the value. And the values create as we grow up. So our values don't necessarily are our values. Our values might be the values of our parents, our carers, our peers, and the people that we have grown with. If we haven't done the exercise of looking into the values, it might mean that you're living the life through values that are a little bit on autopilot. Yeah. And then the beliefs are what we take as our reality. That's our map of the world. That is, I know that I'm going to go into this hot air balloon. I'm going to pull the sandbag, and then the basket is going to lift off, and then I'm just going to fly, and I'm going to be okay. I believe that things work in the way they should work. I believe reality is kind. I believe my experience in life is to be loved. Those things you believe, and therefore you reflect your reality according to what you believe. Yeah. If you believe that, for example, men are cheaters, apologies for men, but some people do believe that they're cheaters, not that they're cheaters. But imagine that you're in a relationship and you feel, and you don't trust your partner because life has treated you badly and your experiences of other relationships is awful. Then you would expect your boyfriend to behave in a certain way, and that will dictate the experience and the relationship that you're going to have with this other person. Yeah. The same way, if you experience life as loving, then you would expect the other person to be loving, and you deserve love, and that will be what dictates your reality. Yeah. So that lives here in the mind. And then is the source, and source is the collective unconscious. This is when you were in the hot air balloon, and then that's the rest that is surrounding the hot air balloon. You've got the air, you've got the universe, you've got the sky, you've got the landscape. That is what the collective unconscious sort of supports you. And it really depends in which country you grew up, what culture was in that country, what was valued for the country, and then how you related to your bigger or higher authority, whatever that is, that being God, that being the universe, that being earth, nature, quantum physics, whatever it is that you believe that you're part of and is bigger than you, that is what it will determine, again, your experience of life. If you believe in God, like I do, I've never believed, I not always have believed as I've believed, because I had to actually actively grow in my spirituality. But now that I've grown into this space and I've developed this faith and this trust, and the experience is completely different, because you know what? I feel held, I feel looked after, I feel loved, and I'm now in a position to bring this experience into my life and thinking I'm going to take a risk because it's going to be okay. Yeah. So those three things dictate the meaning that I would make any single moment. Moment, meaning, depending on these three things, mood, and motion. Motion, which is an action. And then here goes again. Because you, with the emotion, with the energy in motion, is what you can perpetuate the cycle, or you could actually change it and do something else. So in the source, mind, and body, what we do, we start with the body, and then that's the easiest. For the love of God, just look after your health. Make sure that you're looked after, and then you're nourished, and then you understand how your body works, and make the most of it. When we go to minds, we can either start just pay attention to the values and go each by one. Are the values that you want to, are they making the most of your life? Are they serving you? Do we need to retire some of them, or we need to let go of something and bring some value to the forefront? That's an exercise that we do. And with the beliefs, we also work on the beliefs. And at some point, if they are very, very deep ingrained into our subconscious, we might need to do a meditation to retire some of the old beliefs. Yeah. And they're really fun. And then with the source, it's a little bit of the same. We can actually grow onto one of the power types that I'll explain later. So I just want to stop for a minute and say, how is this landing? Just checking. Is it clear? Are there any reactions, or have I gone too fast? Because I tend to talk really fast. Thanks, Lola. So at least I know the Lola is yes. Love it. Thought provoking. It's not provoking, isn't it? But it would have been good if they had taught you this at school. Yeah, or at home. Yeah, very clear. Perfect. So what I want to do now, I've called it a discussion. Gosh, whenever I do this, I can't go back to the slide. So I don't know why. Right. So what I want to do now is I want you to look at what you've written in your exercise. And with that knowledge now that you have, I want you to just, if you need me to go back to the slides, I can show them, but just go through them and think, do you know the shadow of the balloon, the picture with the balloons on, the hot air balloons on the ground, then the picture, then up there, then with somebody, and then being part of something bigger. And again, we can do a discussion, you can put it on the chat, or you can just make, you know, you feel nervous before stepping into the balloon. But is it nervous, afraid, or nervous, excited? Because it's the same feeling. Both. And did you do it? Did you, even when you felt that, you still stepped into the balloon, did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. I did.
By all means, if you want to unmute and talk instead of writing, that's also perfectly fine.
I mean, it's kind of a vertigo feeling.
You can keep it to yourself, because I'm equally happy. Because you need space to, how can you apply what you have just learned to get you started on your balloon? Do you need to start with your body? Is it something that you're saying? Or is it something that it's up there stopping you? Okay, I'm just conscious of the time. We've got 20 minutes. And I want to teach you another exercise, because it builds into this one. So it's kind of the second part of the exercise. And I want you to take more, and then leave the 10 last minutes for the programs. Is that okay? Yeah? Hopefully, yes, because I can see you. I do. Perfect. So what I want you to do now is, with that knowledge that you've taken and the dreams that you've been thinking about, okay, take a piece of paper. I want you to draw a circle and divide it into 8 sections. That means a cross and an X. 8 is about right. You can divide in as many sections as you want, but 8 is sort of about what covers the majority of our lives. And then what I want you to do in each is for each of the lines, I want you to write the things in your area that are meaningful to you. And those things can be health, wealth, inner love or self-love, romance, family, a few others. You get the gist, yeah? So for me, it would be creativity, spirituality. Because now that I've realized that I am a very creative person and I really love being creative, I want creative in my life. I want creativity. And looking at the circle and considering the center to be the 0 and growing towards the edges a 10, I want you to number each of the sections from 0 to 10. As in what it is now, the kind of results that you're getting now. So if you take health, think about how do you feel you're in the health space compared to your dreamed health status. So you would like to be a healthy person, energetic fighter, whatever that means to you, from 0 to 10, where are you? And I know that I'm going faster than what you're doing.
Sorry, did you say?
But even if you don't finish the exercise today, at least you have the map so you can get it done later. Yeah, that's going to be like your compass.
Sorry.
And what I want you to do is once you've done the where you are now, then you're going to do the same for where you would like it to be. And it could be your career, it could be your finance, it could be your wealth. Depends on if you want finance as in pure money or you want wealth as a wealth kind of abundance mindset, which is slightly different. So it should look something like this. Oh gosh, I definitely don't have this nailed, yeah. There you go, something like that. By the way, I haven't numbered them, I just did it randomly, yeah. But say, so the pink is the actual. And if you look, say the health one, you would be, imagine that I'm on a 4 and I'd like it to be a 9. And just notice how funny, because some people go, oh yes, 10. And some people go, 9. I don't think I can get a 10, just a 9. So just notice that too. There's nothing to judge, nothing to do, just notice. We're just noticing. Yeah. And self-love, by the way, is no negotiable. That needs to be there. So again, I'm going to go back. So you've got the questions there. Just so you know, I sometimes use just this bit of exercise in a whole session, so we can talk in depth about all of the other things. So I'm not expecting you to finish this exercise just right now, but I did promise that I was going to give you something to get you started, and I was going to give you a little bit of an experience, which hopefully you got in the meditation exercise. And I'm going to send you the recording so you've got it. Yeah. No need to panic, because I've been there. And like before, if anyone wants to share or comment or has had an aha moment, like, oh, I didn't realize that. And in the recording, you can pause it. Because I talk. I love talking. So how you choose an area to focus, I would suggest the one that has the bigger difference, or the one that by focusing on, it will make the bigger difference to the other ones. So it might be that if I look at my health and I improve my health, all of a sudden, it will impact the other ones. Yeah.
Sí.
Lola, I'm reading your message. It's like you want all of them, and it's not easy to choose one sometimes. So the key here is to choose the one that is going to make you the most, or the one that you have to trust your intuition. So if you look at the wheel and you're drawn towards somewhere, just go to that one. Don't try to explain it too much. Or maybe you want to start with the one that is the easiest, because once you start with the easiest, you'll get in motion, and as you get in motion, the other things will unlock. Sometimes we're so stuck into one way, and as we say, when I was at uni, they used to say to us, don't fall in love with the idea, because you fall in love with the idea and then you want to make it work, and then you design and it has to work, and then when you start making the design, it doesn't work because there are some other things happening as well. And if you fall in love with the idea, then you don't give space for that idea to actually grow. So you might be focused on, at the moment, I want to progress in my career, or I want more money. And sometimes it's like, okay, just park it for a minute. Let's look at self-love, for example. Let's start working on there. And then your brain relaxes and starts expanding into that self-love. And then it's like, oh yeah, now I can do that. And it's just, it's all about lowering the guard and breaking down the barriers and letting the authentic you tell you what is dying to tell you. You're not letting it because you put in too much work or too much time or too much pressure or too much whatever. And that's why I love these. Yeah. Oh, romance. Perfect. So we've got 10 more minutes. So I'm sorry to interrupt this lovely flow, which I'm pretty much you're enjoying. And it's just before the weekend. So it's the perfect timing to, explore and let the sponge brain, brain relax and take time. But I would like to talk you through how can I work with you and take whatever you've come up from this session forward. And even if you don't want to work with me, or you're not prepared to do it now, at least hear me out on the programs, because they've been designed to work with you in a couple of sessions, and that might give you more food for thought. And at the end, I'm going to share my website and my email address, because I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be sharing all the knowledge, all the things that I've been learning through years. They're dying to get out. And I think the transformation comes when you actually do the work. So I'm happy to share the knowledge until the time that you're ready to do the work. Yeah. So, and as I said, don't worry, because I'm sending you the slides. So you have all of these at your own leisure. Now, I don't know whether the slides will come with the music, because I've never done this. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay. Then you can put your music at your own choice, of your own choice. So this is how my website looks like, and that's why I put it in here. And you might laugh, but I actually was I was working on the self-love and having this self-date with me, and we were invited. I was invited. It just happened for a photo shoot, and I went there and I had fun. And throughout COVID, I remember that when I took the opportunity to do these photos, I thought, you know what, this is for when I do my dream, for when I do my business, whatever that is. That's my pictures. And that's it. We took the pictures. It was 2019. I still look very much the part. And then COVID. Then there was 2 years of COVID, wasn't it? And halfway through COVID, I was thinking, oh my Lord, I feel so miserable, so miserable. And then boom, the image came up into my head. I was like, where are my pictures? These pictures that I took, these photos. So I print them out. I put them in my board. So the second year of COVID was all about, yes, I'm becoming you. I'm becoming you, my friend. You're my balloon. You're my hot air balloon. And we started developing these conversations, and we had so much fun. And that helped me maintain my insanity, my own mental sanity through the COVID, and just there forward and to keep me working. Yeah. So the way that I have designed my programs are, one is a dream checkup. That is a one-to-one. That is, you might be already on track. You might be doing your dreams, and you just need a session to touch base with somebody, a little bit like the pinball. Do you know that game? Do you know the ball? And then at some point the ball is going to drop, and you need the little thing is to push you up. That is a little bit like the dream checkup. And this is a one-off. You go, you do it. That's it. And then the other two programs are, the Dream Accelerator is an 8-week program to look at all the different, let's go back to the example of the balloon, the hot air balloon. You go to the hot air balloon, the hot air balloon is tied to these poles on the ground. You then untie the poles, and then for the basket to lift, yes, you need to manage the air, the hot air and everything, but you need to drop sandbags. Yeah, the sandbags that we need to let go of. And those sandbags might be a personality. That sandbag might be, I don't know how to do it. That might be, I know how to do it, but I don't have time, or I don't have energy, or I don't have da 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 da. So we look at what are the things that are either hindering you, or by putting the focus in all of them, they would boost you, right? And we would look at ways to let go of stuff and ways to focus, because sometimes it's just one thing. But when you have a combination of 4 of those pulling you down, there's no way that you're going to lift that balloon up, even if you put the hot air, if you've got the 4 things pulling down. And then the dream incubator is the one that is a bit more transformational. That is more finding the power within you, finding the wisdom. And I do that working with the power types. The power types is the archetypes. An archetype is a definition, is a group of words and adjectives that define something that is commonly recognized by everyone. So if I say the wise man, if I say king or queen, if I say mother, those are they have a set of a group of attributes that is commonly recognized, and it doesn't have to be the Queen of Spain. It's just the Queen, and the Queen is expected to behave in a particular way. Yeah, so we use those throughout the 12 weeks to help you tap into those and get their wisdom, and then bring them together and be like your dream team, working with you. And I've had so much fun doing the Dream Incubator program, which I've done, I don't know, a number of times, to the point that sometimes I walk through the streets, and then I've got like my imagine the Spice Girls, I've got my dream team walking behind me, and I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm unstoppable. So just imagine tapping into that feeling when you're going to have a conversation about your pay rise, when you're going to have a conversation about laying off people, sometimes happens, when you're going to bring your partner and convince him that you are actually going to do my course and that you need the money. Yes, yeah, just imagine that happens. So imagine having that when you have to have all of these, these discussions. Imagine that you need clarity to what is your next step. You will want to work with the wise, the sorceress, which is the one that connects with the vision. And that's the way that I've designed the 3 programs. So this is the Dream Accelerator. So you get that little, so you do a test, and then you get a little key with the indicators of the areas that we're going to work on. Yeah. So you would get all of these. Behind all of these things, you've got the knowledge. So in here would be, oh, it looks like there's resources here that apparently you think you're going to be gaining something bad, or you're going to be letting go of something good if you achieve your dream. So we would do then that. So what we would do is then take that and discuss it in a session, and then put some tools and dismantle them, sometimes just dynamite them, so we can just start building the foundations again. Yeah. So that's, I partner with Headway Coaching School. So they have the platform, and I'm allowed to use it. So that's why I bring it to my program. Then the Dream Incubator, which is the one I've said about the 12 weeks, that is about you, and it's about your dream, and it's about the integration. Because there's no point in working just on you and forget about your dream, or working on your dream when you're not aligned to your dream, to who you are, your desires, and what you were, or where you are really. The integration is, okay, how the 3 things fit together. How is that going to propel you to the next stage? Yeah, so it's I find it very transformational. So these are the power types that I use, which I was seeing. So when you do the course, again, you do a test, which is not a personality test. It just tells you how accessible you have these power types within you. And I appreciate that we're women here together, and they're all very women language, but it actually works with men. Men have done the test, and it's worked perfectly well. And for all I know, we've always worked with things designed for men. So if they have to work with things designed by women, it wouldn't hurt, wouldn't it? It might be an experience to them too. So this is what you get. You get this lovely set that is together with the report. Each of the sets explain what is the archetype about, what is the archetype that is best, what is the archetype that is not best. And then what we do is we have exercises week by week to bring this up and bring it more into your life. And then we do this online because I'm in London. I'm more than happy if you live in London to meet face to face, or if you're in Spain and I happen to be in Spain, But this is 12 weeks. And so far I haven't designed any further, delivery methods. For now is online. And I've done, as I said, I've taken clients through these, and the visualizations, the meditations, all of those work online equally as if we were face to face. And then you get online, you get WhatsApp and email support, not just for the course, but actually a little bit after, because sometimes the work gets done in the session, but a lot of it happens in between sessions, and sometimes after the program has finished, when you've had time to actually, pause and forward. So the course is about what brought you to here, what do we do here, how do we need to plan for later, kind of, in a nutshell. And I teach you, so this is a combination between coaching and teaching, same as the other one, because I can't help it. And I think, it's very good to design and dream, but if they explain to you how things work, it's even better. Yeah. So I was going to say, oh yes, so we will have 1 week per power type, but then we would, in the sessions, discuss and bring some other issues if you happen to have some other issues going for you at that moment in life. And then you get all the tools and everything that I share with you for life, to apply for you, for your friends, and for anyone else. So these are the courses. As I said, it's all in the website. You can purchase directly from the website. You can contact me directly from the website and schedule some time if you would like to discuss any of these in depth. I think the numbers are like so beautifully designed. The 111, the 888, the 1111. I mean, they're launch prices. If you look at it, I mean, the value that you get, the transformation that you get when you've done the work. And I've been there, and I know that, sometimes making the decision is hard, but once you make a decision, you pay, you forget, and you get onto the work. And trust me, I've spent more money on stuff that was, a fraction of what you get in these things, and it's totally worth it. So that's in a nutshell. It's 1 o'clock. I apologize, we're running late. We're running late. If you have to go, by all means go. As I said, I'm going to send you all of that. Once again, thank you very much. I hope you got both the experience and a little bit of steer as in how to get moving. See, still haven't managed to get this right. Any questions? If you don't have to go, I'm here. I can stay for as long as you need. I can ask any questions, or I can just chat. I'll stop the recording and then we can chat. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming. ¿Cuándo comenzamos? Yes. Thank you. I need to go now. Perfect. Well, you know where I am, yeah? And I'm going to be like really, really present in all the social platforms that I have managed to build a profile on. So, yes.
Love it, Vega. Thank you so much for sharing.
Bien. There is something going on a bit weird here because I've got names in the chat.
Thank you.
It's
been great. Well. I enjoyed
not
it.
supposed to be, because I've got Lexi, who I know who she is English. She can't speak Spanish, and there's a message in Spanish. Right.
Yeah, it's me, Ale.
Okay. Lovely. So if you want to turn your cameras just to say goodbye, that'd be lovely. Although you'll be recorded forever. Yeah. Bye, Lola. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Irene. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Bye.
Next weekend is my birthday, so I'll celebrate in Spanish. Bye, Muriel.
Bye.
Thank you.
I
That
had
was
so
very
much
interesting.
fun. You've made my day. Thank you very much. Bye, Gloria. Bye-bye. Thank you. Cheers.